Okay, making some progress on this. The place I'm at now is doing these kind of medium brown diamonds, and I'll do one and move on to the next one. And that way I can do them all together, and I don't have to start and stop and have a bunch of places where I need to tie off the thread. So I'm doing everything in rows. I do a row of this, and eventually I'll fill in the whole quilt. So I start by outlining, then I go do a line down the middle, then I make the feather around the edges, and then I move on to the next square. So we'll hopefully this will show on the camera. I'm using a variegated thread. It's browns and oranges on this row. On the one going this way, I used sort of a rust color, and here I used a tan. All of it will probably end up not showing up that much on the camera, but in real life the colors are kind of nice with all these fabrics that are in this. Set up for free motion quilting, which means that I have on this machine, can't drop the feed dogs, so I just have the stitch length set to 0, and I have a quilting foot in, and I'm using a 40 weight thread. I'm using a size 14, 90-14 needle. That's really the only thing that you have to do. The machine does the work really. What you need to learn, what the learning curve is learning how to drive the fabric under the needle so that it comes out producing the pattern that you want. If you think about it, it's sort of like if you were to try to draw by holding the pencil still and moving the paper. It's the same idea with the quilt. You're moving the quilt. The needle is stationary. You have to just sort of envision the design in your head. Sort of happens. If you're more comfortable, you can always mark your design ahead of time and then try to follow the lines. But frankly, I find following the lines is a lot harder than you think. You get a little bit carried away with wanting to perfectly follow them, and you drive yourself crazy. So if you do mark out your design first, you don't have to follow the markings exactly, because once they wash out, nobody will know that you're a little bit off. This machine is pretty quiet, although you wouldn't know it to hear it. What's making most of the noise here is this treadle. afraid what's happening is the floor isn't level, and so the treadle base is a little bit off balance, and it's making this horrible thumping noise, which I don't know if you can hear it exactly, but that's what the majority of the noise is the scooter. As that wheel goes around, it goes ka-thunk, ka-thunk. But it doesn't seem to be affecting how well it sews. I just need to get on my hands and knees and get a level and get under there and balance it a little better. And I think that'll quiet it down. But with it as loud as it is, if I want to watch television while I'm quilting, I have to turn it up pretty loud. The noise actually sort of helps me to, I can sort of hear the rhythm going, and it helps me to know that my speed is where I want it to be. Now, as I continue to go, you can see I'm getting to some spots where I haven't done the quilting, and that's just because of the way this is laid out. I do a complete line this way, when I do another one that way, so I'm catching up with myself as I go. And I don't know if you can see the way it looks on the back. And it's going to look like this is pink in the picture, but this backing is really sort of almost a terracotta color. Anyway, I think it's going to be kind of neat when it's done. The quilt top itself was one that I bought, a vintage top, and because it's mostly solids, I have a hard time giving an exact date on it. It was all hand pieced, but one of the things that I think makes me believe that it's not super old, even though it was hand pieced, when I was pressing it, I kept getting things melting. There was getting a lot of gunk on my iron, and what I realized was some of the thread that they sewed it together with was polyester, and it was melting on the iron. So that means it's not 100 years old. They didn't have polyester thread that long ago, but it's still pretty old. Maybe, I don't know, 1950. Be about, maybe 55 or so inches square when it's done. So I'm going to call it a pro size. When I first bought it, I had thought about adding borders to it and making it full size. But then I decided it's really going to be hard to find appropriately matching fabric to make a border for it, so I decided to leave it the size it is. Anyway, you can see how once you've decided on the pattern and you do this sort of thing several times in a row, it becomes pretty easy. So your hands and your foot and all of your all together get used to working that same design, and you don't really have to think about it that much, and it sort of becomes second nature. Now there's a lot of these diamonds to fill in, so it is going to take some time. but it isn't hard. It's just a little time consuming, takes a little practice, and I'll get a shot of it when it's done. You can see the finished product.